Good morning, sports fans. There we go. I didn't even get through the first sentence. Good morning, sports fans. Welcome to another edition of the First Center of Las Vegas. This is Daily Free Winner Show, brought to you by the best reps on the planet, your one-stop sports betting shop, Sports Memo. Guys, we have a great show today. We are dedicated here at the First Family Show to bring you the best I'm really tongue-tied today, the best handicappers on the planet. We've got people coming to you from Greece, Tokyo, Southeast Asia, Mexico, Canada, and even the very tropical locale of upstate New York. Let's bring on our panel today. Don't have a lot of fluff for you guys. Let's go around the horn from upstate New York. Mr. Adam Trigger, we got Jeff Michaels. He's back and better than ever. And our good buddy Eric Pauly. Let's go around the horn. Adam, good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I actually went down to South Carolina on Saturday for this Clemson-Syracuse game. It was my first time at Death Valley. Really cool environment. We gave out Q's plus the 2 touchdowns on this show last week. That gets there. Honestly, they really kind of blew that game. 11-point lead going into the fourth quarter. A couple calls didn't go their way, and they kind of fell apart. But back-to-back winners, the first 2 appearances on the show. Hopefully I have another one for you guys today.
Great stuff. I want to put a pin in that Syracuse game, so I want to talk to you about it in a minute. Let me say hello to everybody. Jeff Michaels, good morning. I mean, you missed a couple of Sports Memo TV shows the last few weeks. You're going to ball games. You went to a wedding. You were missed. I will tell you that. I know that you're going to give me some crap today about the Yankees. They got swept. That's okay. I'm not happy about it. But I did say all season long, the only team in baseball, I wasn't worried about any National League teams. I was worried about Houston. So my hat's off to Houston. I give them credit. I'm not one of them guys that's a sore loser. I'm not going to be like one of them guys that says, Des Bryant, those Cowboy fans. It was a catch. It was 10 years ago. Shut up, let it go. Those people, those Cub fans that pissed me off. The guy left, the kid in on the third baseline interfered with. Guys, if one single play makes or breaks your season, you aren't doing your job as a team. Guys, the Yankees lost. They got their asses whooped. I am a Yankee fan. I'm always going to be a Yankee fan. My hat's off to them. But I know you're a little happy. You get a little payback there. Of course, Cleveland was playing golf a week earlier than New York, so I'm a little happy. So,
right, that's what I was gonna say. If it's not at the hands of us, I can't say much. You made it farther than we did. I can't say we would have done much better against the Astros, but it was a good football weekend, and I'm glad to be back here with you guys this week. So, looking forward to the show and looking forward to the shows coming up this week.
My good buddy Eric Pauly doing some great work. We always love when you're on the show. It's Tuesday. And, we have a great Monday panel. We've got a great Tuesday panel. It just seems that, as soon as Monday ends, I look forward to seeing you three guys, particularly Eric, you always bring it. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Joe. Love being here as always. Excited for the game I'm giving out today and looking forward to a great show.
Now, we were very honored to have you here. I'm a little tongue-tied today. Now, I want to say something. I'm on 2 pots of coffee. Yesterday, we had a couple of people ask me later on Twitter about my coffee mug. Now, I had a triple shot of Cuban espresso, my favorite espresso in the world. I get this stuff, man, even before with that embargo with Cuba I was getting stuff out of there. I was getting cigars for years. Now everybody gets them, but I got this Cuban espresso, but I had this big cup that said, a giant cup of I'm the effing boss. So we had a few people say, what does Dionne say about that? Well, I just want you to know, got a desk here. And on my desk, that's what it says. Joe the Boss D'Amico. Guess who gave that to me, Dionne? Because she knows I'm the boss, and she admits it, right?
On occasion.
On occasion. I love her. I love her. We don't have too much fluff today. Monday night football game last night. I know a couple of people on the panel are happy about what happened last night. I don't want to get too far into it, but, Bears fans, guys, I've been reading a lot of social media. Bears fans, take it easy, all right? All of a sudden, you guys think you're going to make it to the Super Bowl this season. Take it easy there, guys. Let's face it, that 85 team, you could thank Buddy Ryan for that championship. I love Sweetness, one of the greatest players ever. But Jim McMahon, let me tell you, if Buddy Ryan wasn't in charge of that defense, they would have been the most popular 7-9 football team in the NFL. That's it. That's all I got to say about that. As a matter of fact, Adam, you'll get a kick out of this. We were with Jim McMahon a couple of years ago. We were with him, Jose Canseco, and Jimmy Key from the Wolverines, the Fab Five team, that great Fab Five team. and I was VIP. They were doing a show. Eric, you'll get a kick out of this, Jeff. They were doing a show, and they asked the audience. It was like talking about their exploits and stuff. And Ken Secco got this whole thing that he's still juicing. He's like 305. He's got like 8% body weight. What do you think? Everybody's juicing. And he got his thing, but they went around to the audience to ask people, would you like to ask them questions? So people were like a little quiet. So I asked Jose a question. It was a great question. I asked Jimmy Key a question, loved it. As a matter of fact, Jimmy and I became very close friends. We go to lunch or dinner. Since then, it's like every time he comes to town. I went to Jim McMahon and I said, Jim, a lot of talk about the 85 championship team. How much credit and how do you feel about Buddy Ryan? And he said this in front of 250 people because it was a show. He said he's an F and AH. I said, excuse me? He's an F and AH. We could have won anything without him. I said, what? And I got in it with him. I said, you're out of you're out of your mind. You are when your offense only has to score about 12 points a game to win, you're out of your mind. You're crazy, right? I mean, let's say, well, I had an 82% winning percentage. Dude, you had to score 12 points a game. So I got in it with him. Big time. I got in with him. And then he got all mad. I said, can you please, I don't know which eye you're talking to me from. Can you go? So he got a little mad at that too. He's a little cry baby, but I will tell you, it was a good game last night. Dionne and I stood home. We watched the Interview with a Vampire, the first 4 episodes. Good show, by the way. But we had a nice time just staying home. Still 65-mile-an-hour winds, still in Vegas. My backyard looks like Beirut right now. It's not pretty. Not a lot of – no, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. Every time we went outside, guys, listen, last week it was 94 degrees here. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we had 65-mile-an-hour winds. Every time we go to the backyard to go fix it, I'm telling you, Adam, I made a joke on the show and everybody left. I said, last time I seen winds like that, a house – fell on my ex's sister, the Wicked Witch of the
No, the wind in Vegas is no joke. When I think it was last May, maybe one of the times I was coming out, and that was as scary of a plane landing as I've been a part of. I mean, it was like it was bad. Like, so the winds out there are definitely no joke when they get going.
Well, we have nothing to block the winds here. We're like one big valley, we're in the valley. It's like one big pie shell, guys. You're in the middle of the pie shell. There's nothing. We don't have tall buildings, guys. I'm telling you. Let me tell you, it's kind of scary. But having said all that, we are live. So if you have any questions or comments for our panel, fire away. We're going to try to get to them at the end of the show. We had a ton of questions yesterday. Dionne, she has some discounts. We're going to get right into free plays. We got some great free content for you. Dionne, take it away.
Yeah. So today is Tuesday, and you know what Tuesday is, right?
$2 Tuesday.
That's right. $2 Tuesday over at Sports Memo. Your 3 cappers for today are myself, Dionne D'Amico, Moneyline Matt, and Dr. Chuck. You can get each of our plays for $2 a piece, but the best deal is to get all 3 for just the low price of $5. Those are the 3 cappers over at Sports Memo. Over at WagerTalk, you can go ahead and get Jimmy Adams' play for $2. He is the #1 NFL capper over at WagerTalk. Also, we have an amazing deal that's going on right now. Any
I love those emojis, guys. I'm sorry.
Any capper over at Sports Memo, you can get a 3-day all access for just the price of $49. All you have to do is use code FRIGHT3 upon checkout. And also make sure you head on over to the deals page after the show because some of your favorite cappers have some amazing deals going on right now. And you want to hop on those before they do disappear.
My good friend Eric Pauly, who I do look forward to him on the show every Tuesday. And I do share a couple of the other panels with him on Sports Memo TV. One of the sharpest minds in sports betting today. His breakdowns and analysis are amazing. He's doing some great work over at Sports Memo. Another good weekend for him on the gridiron. He's going to tell you what he's been doing. He's going to tell you what he's going to be doing. And he's got another free winner for you. Eric, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so unfortunately it was not a good weekend.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Dropped the Patriots in the teaser last night. That was the make or break. If they would have hit last night, it would have been a profitable weekend. Unfortunately, they didn't, so it went to the red. But it is all good. You can't win them all. That is 2 of the last 3 weeks winning. We are still plus money for the season, so we're not gonna, cry over one loss in the NFL. We still have a long way to go, even though we're, already in week 8, which is absolutely, I can't even believe how quickly the season's gone by. But for this show, and my play of the day is for game on Sunday, and you're gonna sound maybe a little bit crazy based on how they played last night, but I'm riding with the New England Patriots -1.5 this weekend in the Meadowlands, facing off against the New York Jets. Now, the Patriots last night, they really did take a beat down. They did not play well in any facet of the game. They actually dropped all the way from 9th in total DVOA to 16th. And the New York Jets, they've actually improved very much. They're 11th in the league in total DVOA, but their last 2 injuries are really going to hurt them big time. Breece Hall is gone. They traded for James Robinson, but the way Breece Hall was playing, I mean, he was really established himself as a top back in that run-first offense. And their AVT, I don't want to mispronounce his full name, but their Valea Tucker, he is also going to be out for the season, a key offensive lineman for the Jets. The Patriots last night, of course, looked miserable, but they were missing Isaiah Wynn and Christian Barmore, 2 of their best players on their offensive and defensive line, respectively. But where I really see the value in this game, and this is kind of why I leaned New England last night, but I think it makes more sense in this matchup, is just simply Bill Belichick versus Zach Wilson. Bill Belichick versus Mike LaFleur, the offensive coordinator for the New York Jets. Bill Belichick absolutely trapped Wilson in the 2 meetings last season, and the Patriots were able to beat them handily, causing Wilson that 4-interception game in week 4 of last season. And I expect more of the same. The Patriots, they know how, they're familiar with Wilson. They're going to know how to shut it down. Belichick is that 1 win away from breaking the tie for second all-time in wins as a head coach. The New York Jets, of course, are surging, and they have a good football team, don't get me wrong, a solid football team. But I think the Patriots, in terms of coaching in this game, completely mismatch and are going to have that edge there. I think Belichick's going to have this team ready to go. If Baltimore can play, that run defense for New England will be much, much better. The Jets pass rush are still going to be an issue, but I think this is a fantastic spot at 1.5 to back the New England Patriots, even though it's on the road. I love this play. This will certainly be a client card play. Just we'll see how many units, but I'm riding with the Patriots.
Great stuff from Eric Pauly. Eric, his integrity is just amazing, and I love that. But he is a winner. After the show, go follow Eric. We got the best customer appreciation discounts on the planet over at Sports Bowling. You can follow him to the bank. Eric, let me ask you this. Great breakdown, great analysis, what we come to expect from you. When you see a team like New England last night play under their potential, so to speak, the game doesn't go their way, how much does that influence you for the following game when they're playing a team that has been playing maybe above their reach?
Yeah, so I'm going to quote actually our panelist Adam Trigger right here. He said last night in his tweet when he tweeted out the Bears +9 that the New England Patriots should not be 9-point favorites over everybody. And that's plain and simple. So I think based on the way the market was priced last week, there were so many big favorites. There was like 7 games of spreads 6 or higher, Patriots being one of them. I don't put a lot of stock into the fact that the Patriots were unable to close that out, just kind of based on how they started that game and the injuries in their offensive defensive line. The Jets have been punching above their weight class, like you said. And while they're 11th in total DVOA, like there's no way they're a top 15 team in the National Football League, in my opinion. I think the Patriots are certainly. I expect those 2 to flip-flop after this week. So I do not put too much stock in either of those things. NFL is a week-by-week thing. Yes, Patriots have that short week, but this is going to be a real mismatch of Bill Belichick versus Mike LaFleur, the OC, as well as Zach Wilson, the QB.
Great stuff. Great response. Thank you. I know that all our viewers appreciate you. Guys, once again, Eric Pauly, after the show, go follow him. The best customer appreciation discounts in this business are over at Sports Ball and WagerTalk. So go follow Eric. Guys, remember the First Lady of Las Vegas, who is perfect the last several days in 3 different sports. Mm-hmm. She's perfect. And you can't argue with success, let alone perfection. She's all over every leaderboard at Sports Memo. I'm very proud of her. You know, she's, if I'm not mistaken, you're perfect so far this season in NBA.
Yes.
You won your last several hockey games.
I did.
You're killing it on the football.
I am.
You got a $2 Tuesday play today.
I do.
And you
it's
get
a big one.
And you get to wake up every morning with me.
That's right.
So
that's
you're
the best
a
part
winner.
of it all.
See, I love it. I love it. She's full of bunk, but I love it. I love my wife. She's going to tell you what else she's been doing and what she's going to be doing. She's going to tell you about a $2 Tuesday play. Very excited about that because I was here this morning when she sent it into the powers that be, our great friends at the best staff in this business over in Detroit. Hey, guys, we love you. Dionne's going to tell you what she's been doing, what she's going to be doing, and she's got another free winner for you. Dionne, the floor is yours.
Thank you. And once again, this season, I have made us nothing but money in Big 12 play. I also do not release too many games of the month, and my 5% plays are 4-1 this NCAA football season. This Saturday, these 3 winning angles meet as I have my 5% Big 12 game of the month for us. This situation is so strong, I am putting it out as my $2 Tuesday play, so everyone, no matter how much you bet, will get a big win. My NBA guys, as Joey did mention, is perfect at 3-0 this season. I am all over the leaderboards in basketball. And over the last several days, I am a perfect overall in all sports, going 5-0 in 3 different sports. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into my free play, though, for today. So following 2 decisive road wins and covers to start the season, the New Orleans Pelicans lost their home opener on Sunday. Not only did they drop an overtime game to the visiting Utah Jazz at 8.5-point favorite, but they also lost 2 of their top players. All-star forward Brandon Ingram has entered the concussion protocol. Forward Zion Williamson bruised his hip and is listed as questionable. The same can be said for another starting forward, Herbert Jones, who is dealing with a knee issue. Dallas, which began the season with a heartbreaking 2-point loss at Phoenix, then redeemed themselves, crushing Memphis at home by 41, has covered both outings so far. Things aren't looking too good for the Pelicans in this matchup, as the Mavericks have dominated this rivalry, winning 8 of the last 10 straight up and 7 of those 10 against the spread. This does include 5 of the last 6 meetings in New Orleans. Both teams rank in the top 5 in scoring. Even if New Orleans was healthy, they still have to face one of the top defenses in the NBA. Not only will the Dallas defense frustrate them, they are just as good as New Orleans on the boards. While CJ McCollum is a true force, I just don't feel he can do it alone against the Mavericks D. Dallas also comes in here with an extra day of rest, and they're pretty darn good coming off 2 days in between games, covering 5 of their last 6 in that situation. Plus, New Orleans is just 1-4 ATS their last 5 games played at home. So I'm going to go ahead and lay a couple of baskets with the Mavericks here. Play Dallas.
Firstly, Las Vegas on fire. Premium and free releases. Take Dallas $2 Tuesday capper.
$2 Tuesday, 5%.
And once again, tell everybody what you got on that $2 Tuesday play.
Yeah, so my $2 Tuesday play is going to be a 5% play. It is my Big 12 game of the month play. So you want to get that $2. It goes off Saturday. Best deal though, get 3 of us for $5. You'll go ahead and get a 5% play from myself in college football. You'll get an 5% NFL play from Dr. Chuck, and you will get a top play from Moneyline Matt in NBA. And I believe that goes off today. So you want to go ahead and get that deal. $5, 3 top handicappers.
Can't beat that with a bat, guys. You know, our good buddy Adam Trigger is back, and you know he's perfect on this show. And I did ask him in the waiting room before the show if he was going to paint himself orange over when he went down to.
I don't think he did, though.
That was a good. I'll tell you, it was a good game. You know, and I did want to bring some up, if you don't mind, before we get into your free play and what you've been doing, Adam. You know, you're so informative, and we love that about you. You know, we before the show we had talked a little bit about, and even during the show when you were introed about, you know, maybe a few things that didn't go Syracuse's way. Playing great football, they really are. They're playing excellent football, and I don't think there's a lot of pressure on them because, as much as people think, you know, because they weren't a top contender in the conference. But I want to go the other route. Now, I had Syracuse myself too. Very excited about the game. I watched a little bit of it. Now I'm old. I got to take a nap. I took a nap. I nodded out. I woke up. Blah blah blah. And obviously, I read a lot about, and I've been saying all season long about Cade Klubnik. I want to go the other route, Cade Klubnik. From when he came out in the first couple of games and a couple of minutes, I think he brings a big thing to Clemson football. I think he is the future. I think he's one of the best young quarterbacks. As a true freshman, I think he's amazing. I think he is a team and on the field leader and a general. I don't think he's been rattled at all. I think that he's been good under pressure. How do you feel about this kid? Do you think Clemson is going to finally make him a starter? And is he going to start the rest of the season?
I don't know if he'll start the rest of the season, but I will say this. When he came in, if you looked at the stats in that game, Syracuse forced 4 turnovers. Okay? Clemson they were moving the ball without much issue. All they really needed was a guy to come in and manage the game. Mm-hmm. Klubnik did that. That's what DJ wasn't doing. They didn't need him to make some of the plays that he made. One of them wasn't his fault, obviously. I think it was Shipley that fumbled around the goal line. But the point is, that Clemson team probably is fine with Klubnik kind of managing the game. So will they keep him? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Listen, Joe, and any quarterbacks can come into the middle of a game and have success. That happens. You see it all the time. What I'll be interested to see is if they actually give him a chance to start and how he does, when a team is a week or two to prepare for him, because that's a whole different ball game, in my opinion.
All right, great stuff. Now, Adam, I got to tell you, a lot of people love you. Our buddy Garrick says that you great stuff on that call the other day. You've got a following here in the First Family Show already. And that doesn't surprise us. And we got to do a shout out, man. One of our favorite people, Quam, is here. Hey, Quam, good morning. Quam came up to us at the meet and greet. I don't know if you guys remember meeting him. I know he was one of the sweetest guys in the world. He watches this show all the time, but during work, he's a big fan of sports. He works. Hasn't been watching the show lately live. They all for work today. We want to say hi to Quam. We love you. We'll thank you for the support, guys. And then my good friend Garrick always. Isn't Joe Naps so great? When you start getting older, Garrick, man, you start looking more forward to naps than just about anything else. My good friend Adam Trigger has been doing some great work. He really has over at WagerTalk. And numbers don't lie. And he's become a real fan favorite here on the show. We're honored to have him here. He's going to tell you what he's been doing, what he's going to be doing, and he's got another free play winner for you. College football, buddy. Take it away. Is it college football this week? Wait a minute.
So I'm going to do an NFL.
Pro football.
Yeah, we'll go to NFL for that. So right now, the only thing I have posted right now is one college football play for Saturday. I'll be adding throughout the day and throughout the week. But that one's going to be $9 all week. So 4% play. It was part of $9 Monday, and it's up, and we're not going to change it. So that'll be up for $9 all week. Goes on Saturday as college football. If you want to hear, so I am going to break down the Syracuse Notre Dame game today on WagerTalk TV with Dave Koken and Tony Mejia on the College Football Show. So if you're looking for the Syracuse analysis, tune into that. I think we go live at like 2:45 Eastern, but that'll be covered on today's version of the College Football Happy Hour show. I'm going to talk about NFL today, and I'm going to talk about just, kind of how I bet in general, maybe how, just some tips that might sort of help you thin your card out. But also, I want to give you a game I was looking at yesterday and kind of missed the number on a little bit. So I'm going to just talk about it here as sort of a strong lean today, and that's the Houston Texans. And this is a conundrum I think we all kind of run into in football season, because it's very different from the other sports that are day to day, where you for me as a guy that's lower volume, I obviously want to lock stuff in earlier in the week, but I don't want to lock so many plays in that I'm committed to, like, all of a sudden I'm committed to 6 games on a Monday, and then I have a hard time adding throughout the week. And this game, Texans, is plus 1.5 now, but I could have gotten 3 yesterday at one point. And so that makes it, so for me, even though I really do like the Texans in this spot, if I could have got 3 and now I could only get 1.5, it's going to be hard for me to make that a client play or make that sort of like a best bet. But the spot here certainly would dictate, in my opinion, a good bet on the Texans. And I'm going to give you some options as to how you can sort of include it in your card if you wanted to. So first, that move probably has something to do with Ryan Tannehill, who, banged up over the weekend against the Colts. It's either a knee or an ankle, I'm not sure. But the point, that move is certainly suggesting that it might be Malik Willis under center. And actually, I'm not a big Tannehill guy. I've talked about wanting to fade him on numerous occasions this year. So that's something I'm going to monitor throughout the week. If Tannehill ends up being ruled in and this climbs back up to 3, I may jump in with a client play on the Texans. If it doesn't, the way I might look to play the Texans here is in a teaser, because right now with Texans plus 1.5, it still fits the sort of the Wong teaser leg that make it sort of like a plus EV play on a teaser. So as of right now, if you want to sort of lock in action on the Texans, they're plus 1.5. You could take that in a 6-point teaser, obviously shop around and make sure you're getting minus 110. But you could take that up to plus 7.5. And it's a 4:00 game on Sunday. So there are ways where, Bucks plus 1.5 up to 7.5 on Thursday night looks playable. And so does, the Saints was another one that does look playable at 1:00 on Sunday. So there's a couple different ways where if you agree with me and you really like the Texans, that you could still have the action on them come kickoff at 4 p.m. on Sunday without having to take the bad number. So that's just another alternate way to look at it. But those are play just straight up numbers plays. Bucks to Texans in a 6-point teaser is fine. Saints to Texans in a 6-point teaser is fine. But if you want, the other thing is too here, I like the Texans to win this game. So even though I'm a little stubborn and I want 3 or nothing, I still think the Texans, in this spot with the injuries that the Titans are dealing with right now, and the fact that the Titans have won 4 straight, and they've kind of been, I don't want to call them like a fraud because they've made plays, but if you look at that 4-game winning streak, I mean, they needed to survive a 1st and goal at the 1 against the Commanders. They squeaked out 2 wins against the Colts where they were really just fortunate in terms of the number of turnovers they created in those games. And then you go back to the first game of that winning streak against the Raiders. They started to sort of choke that away late. I thought, if my memory serves me correctly, they needed to stop a 2-point conversion at the end, or that game would have been tied, and then who knows what ends up happening. So the Texans, I understand 1-4-1, not overly impressive, but they should have beat the Colts. They had a game against the Bears that they could have easily won that went against them late. And the Broncos game was another game they could have won as well. In this spot, I just think the Texans are probably healthier. And the Titans are just not, in my opinion, what their record says they are. So I would have loved to have 3. If you end up seeing this creep back up and you can get 3 later in the week, by all means, go for it. If not, maybe look to play some of those other long teaser legs like the Bucks or the Saints into the Texans, because you might, by 4 p.m. kickoff on Sunday, you might be sitting there with Texans plus 7.5 and not have to do anything else.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Great betting insights. What we come to expect from Adam Trigger. Guys, Adam Trigger's doing some great work over at WagerTalk. After the show, go over to WagerTalk. Go follow Adam. He's doing great. Plus, he says, I believe 2:45 Eastern, he does the WagerTalk show today. He's going to be breaking down that Syracuse game. It's great stuff. By the way, Adam, you're going to be on the show with Dave Koch, and he still owes me dinner for like a decade. You guys know, man, I know Dave is one of my oldest friends in this business, 30 some odd years. I know Dave. I broke into this business working with Jim Feist. Dave was over there and he did great work. And Dave just comes and says, "Why isn't Joe D'Amico working with me? I wanted to sell me." And we always had a great time with Dave. He's a great guy. Give him my best. He does owe me dinner, though. I love that. Guys, go follow Adam. You're going to follow him to the bank. Let's go over to my good friend, Jeff Michaels. We miss Jeff. We normally do a lot of content with Jeff because Jeff's like James Brown of sports betting, man. He's one of the hardest working guys you'll see. I mean, I'm up every morning at 2. When I get up, it's a couple hours later in Ohio. Jeff is already up. We have a Slack channel that we communicate, and his little green light is on, my green light is on, and we BS at like 2 a.m. We gossip about everybody else that we don't like. No, I'm just kidding. But Jeff is great. He does great work. We did miss you, Jeff. Both of us miss you very, very much. We're glad you're back. We'll be doing some other Sports Memo TV shows before the end of the week. We're very excited about that. We'll tell everybody about that later. Jeff's doing some great work. He's going to tell you what he's been doing, what he's going to be doing, and he's got another free winner for you. Jeff, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, luckily up here we had some nice weather this past weekend in Cleveland. We had some 40-degree days, but I got a 75-degree day for an outside wedding on Friday. So at least I got to enjoy a little bit of good weather, but I'm glad to be back, excited for this. And we had a pretty good Saturday, Sunday through football. Rough day yesterday on that Monday night game, but the top play was an NBA play that lost yesterday. But we're back at it today. I don't have my NBA package loaded yet. I do have one play up. I'm waiting for a late line prop, but I'll put that package up after this show and wait for that prop before this evening. But as far as my free play goes, guys, I'm looking Friday night lights, and I'm looking to fade those BYU Cougars and going with East Carolina in this one. You know, BYU looked like the real deal to start this season. Top 25 team. They took down Baylor in that showdown. Then they got blown out at the hands of Oregon. They bounced back with their 2 wins against Wyoming and Utah State. But since that, they're 1-3 straight up. And they haven't covered a game since that big win against Baylor. They've lost 6 straight against the spread. The offense was key. They were putting up 360, or they had put up 360 yards or more in all of the first 5 games. But in the last 3 weeks, this BYU offense has been held under 300 yards in 2 out of 3 of those games against Notre Dame and then playing Liberty last week. And the defense hasn't really helped much either. They're allowing 422 opponent yards per game on average this season. But in that same recent 3-week stretch, They're allowing over 560 yards and 40 points to their opponents. And all three of those teams had one of their top 2 best offensive performances of the year. And this East Carolina team showed that they can play. I mean, they started the year with 3 straight against the spread wins. And 6 out of their last 7 opponents have had one of their worst 2 defensive performances. So East Carolina has made some of these defenses look like nothing, look mediocre. And they've played, I mean, Tulane has the 16th best scoring defense in the country and the 19th best total defense in terms of yardage. And ECU went 120 yards over that yardage total that they're averaging. And UCF, Central Florida, is the 15th ranked scoring defense in the country. And ECU put up 34 on them. They doubled their season average total. Now they take on this BYU defense that they're currently ranked 103rd in the nation, allowing over 420 yards a game. And they rank 108th in the country, allowing nearly 32 points per game. And ECU, in the last 7 games, 35 points a game and 485 yards. So I expect a big game out of this ECU offense, and I'm fading the Cougars on Friday night. So, Pirates plus the points.
There we go. Jeff Michaels says, fade those Cougars. Take the Pirates. By the way, I drink rum every morning. Makes me a pirate, not a drunk. I love Jeff Michaels. I know you do too. He's doing some great work over at Sports. You're going to see him on a couple of shows between today and Friday. And Jeff and I'm honored to share a couple of panels with him. Great stuff, Jeff. Thank you. Go follow Jeff after the show. You're going to follow him to the bank. Guys, adjust the volumes because I'm loud and I'm already have a little tongue-tied situation. First sentence of the show. Guys, once again, this past weekend, the best big game hunter on the planet got you paid with his big game release. My big games went 3-1 over the weekend. And all season long, although I'm just starting to get really, really hot right now, all season long, I've already spotted several lines for this upcoming weekend. I really like a lot in the football all season long. You know my big games? My 5%, my 10%. 5% are hitting for a year and a half, 70-something%. My 10% are 16-2 in 2022. But the games I put up as games in a month or things like that, over 80-something%. Wow. It is off the charts. Guys, you could bet your butt that I'm going to have a couple of 5% and a 10% play this weekend in football for you. They'll be posted by, I want you to know, I work with 6 or 7 of the biggest line movement crews in this country. They're going to be up by Wednesday or the Thursday, the latest, because I want to take advantage. I don't want to put them out. I don't want to put a game out and then line moves here or there. We want to make sure we always give you that advantage. They're going to be up by Wednesday, Thursday, the latest, guys. How about my NBA? I started last season 3-0, 6-1, and 15-4. Never looked back. How about this season? I'm just as hot, guys. 6-1. My premium releases thus far. Ranking me what? Number 1 in Sports Memo. Guys, 6-1. $100 bettors are up $1,960. I swept the board the last several days on the pro basketball hardwood. I'm here to give you winners, not action. I did pass today. Guys, I love the fact that the people here, Sports Memo and WagerTalk, we don't play every single day. We're not here to give you action. We're not here to upsell you, to get your sales. We want you to keep coming back on good information. So there are days that I pass, and I'm on 6-1, and I swept the board the last several days, and guess what? I passed today because I didn't think anything was huge or gave you a huge advantage or a high percentage win today. So I'm passing. But I want you to know there's an ideal opportunity. So we have that 3-day all-access package for just $49. Like I said, I'll have several 5% plays and a 10% play posted between Wednesday and Thursday. And you can start that maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can buy it now, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it is my advice because you want to get locked into that. Okay? You use code FRIGHT33 upon checkout. Fright3. What did I say?
You said 33.
33. Well, guys, what do you want me to do? I'm twice as excited about it, so it's food for Fright 3 upon checkout. I'm really babbling today, guys, but let me not babble on my free play.
Okay.
All right. For today's free play, let's head on over to an Eastern Conference matchup at Capital One Arena, where the Detroit Pistons travel to take on the Washington Wizards. Granted, this is not a marquee matchup. Neither team is really expected to do very well this season, but that doesn't mean we can't make money with these teams. Guys, we always talk about this. I know Jeff and I have talked about this, even in college basketball and in college football. Jeff and I have talked about this a lot. It doesn't have to be, ACC. It doesn't have to be Big 12 in NFL, in college football, or ACC in college basketball. There is money to be made in those smaller conferences. I'm telling you right now, don't overlook them because they're not on TV or because, it's not this team or that team or top 25. There's money to be made. Same thing on some of these lesser teams in the NBA. There's money to be made there, and the lines are off, I'm telling you, especially at the beginning of the season, guys. After starting off the campaign with the win at home against Orlando, Detroit has now dropped 2 in a row, both on the road. Not only were they straight-up losses, they failed to cover both, losing on Friday to New York by 24 and then on Saturday to Indiana by 9. By the way, both the Knicks and the Pacers, they're not touted very well this season. Matter of fact, they're both touted to finish last in their divisions. So things aren't looking too good for the Pistons, folks. This is a team that's covered just one game over their last 6 outings going back to last season. They're absolutely horrible. To make matters worse, they are a visitor against the Wizards team that has covered 7 of the last 8 meetings against them in Washington. No, Washington is not highly touted this season either. But the Wizards have put forth 3 very strong efforts so far this season, going 2-1. They beat Indiana on the road and then bested Chicago at home. They did drop that last game 2 nights ago in Cleveland. However, they did push the Cavaliers into overtime. I thought that was a very good performance once again. Their offense leaves a lot to be desired, but their defense has been stellar. They rank 8th, allowing just 108 points per game thus far. They're absolutely attacking the glass on the defensive side. Coming off their first loss of the campaign and returning back home, I expect the Wizards to absolutely crush the Pistons in this matchup. Let me bring everybody back on. We've got a couple of announcements. You're going to run out some free plays, closing thoughts and comments. Real quick, guys, the MLB show, full count. We're going to put it on schedule on social media later today. I'm sure you see Eric. I'm sure you see Jeff on the shows that we do this week because they're 2 of the best in baseball I've ever worked with. Tuesdays and Thursdays, that means today. Our good friend Dan Alexander is going to be doing his Sports Memo Today show. The Triple-Double, very exciting show.
Jeff is going to be on that one later this afternoon.
Jeff, are you on Sports Memo Today?
Along with Moneyline Matt.
With Moneyline Matt, you're muted, but that's okay. That's right. I didn't mute you this time. That was you on your own. You will be on the Sports Memo Today show later?
Yeah, yep, with Moneyline Matt.
Great stuff.
Over 2:30.
One of the best baseball minds, and I'm looking forward later on because I know probably you and Eric, because you're 2 of the best in baseball there is, probably doing the MLB show. But Sports Memo Today, Tuesdays and Thursdays with Dan. Jeff will be on later today with Moneyline Matt. We got the college football show on Thursday afternoon. We got the granddaddy of them all, the pro football show. Then you're going to get a double dose of the First Family on Friday morning. Jeff and Ralph are going to be joining us. Then we're going to go into another segment, if you will, having probably Ross and Jesse and a few other special guests join us. We're going to go right in. We just got to keep giving you this great content because you guys love it. Tune into all the Sports Memo and WagerTalk TV shows for the best betting insights. Tons of free winners. Dionne's got some discounts. We're going to run down the free plays, get some closing thoughts and comments, and then we're going to get out of Dodge.
That's right.
Yep. Maybe I can't mistake it. Make any more mistakes. I'm really babbling the last 2 days, guys. It's that COVID. It's still lingering. Dionne, take it away.
Yeah, so today is $2 Tuesday over at Sports Memo. Your featured cappers today are myself, Dionne D'Amico, Moneyline Matt, and Dr. Chuck. You can get each of our plays for just $2 a piece, or you can get all 3 for just the low price of $5 over at Sports Memo. And over at WagerTalk, you can get Jimmy Adams' play. He has an NFL game going up, $2. He is the #1 capper in NFL right now over at WagerTalk, and he will be joining us this Thursday on the First Family Show, so make sure you tune into that. We also do have that deal going on right now for any capper over at Sports Memo, just $49 for a 3-day all-access pass. All you have to do is use code FRIGHT3 upon checkout. And don't forget to hit the deals page right after the show, as some of your favorite cappers have some amazing deals going on right now.
Okay. My good friend, let's before we run down the free plays and get on out of here, closing thoughts and comments, our buddy Adam Trigger. But by the way, I got to bring something up to Adam before the show. Adam divulged to me. I sent a couple of pictures up in Slack for a couple of our guys, and a couple of them were some professional wrestlers. Adam's a big wrestling fan. Adam, Deanna and I are thinking about Halloween, Macho Man Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth. What do you think?
Oh, I was shocked you haven't done it yet. I'm surprised you have. It's 2022 and you guys haven't done that yet.
It was either that or Run DMC. We got the Adidas outfits, we got the hats, we got the chains, and we got the Adidas sneakers. So Adam, closing thoughts and comments, and then we'll get free plays from everybody and get on out of here.
Yeah, so 1 play up for me so far for the weekend, 4% play, and it's going to be up for $9 all week. And just to, as far as the play I gave out on the Texans, which we'll go over in the recap, I like the Texans, but I think the best thing you can take away from that is use the Texans. If you're going to bet teasers this weekend in the NFL, that should be like your anchor leg. So whether it's the Thursday night game or all of the 1 o'clock games on Sunday, use whatever you want to use. I threw out some suggestions, but that's kind of the point I wanted to drive home. Texans plus 7.5 in a teaser, in my opinion, is the best teaser leg for this weekend. And I'll leave you with that.
Great stuff. Let me go closing thoughts or comments from Jeff Michaels. You'll see him later on the Sports Memo Today show. We got a couple other Sports Memo TV shows that he and I will be doing this week. Jeff, closing thoughts, comments.
Yeah, lots of plans, lots of exciting things going on this week. So make sure you check out those deals on the Sports Memo site after you go buy those $2 Tuesday plays, of course. But excited to continue rolling through NBA and already looking forward to the football card this weekend. I got a couple big ones I got my eye on, so we should have some big things coming this weekend on the gridiron, no question.
Great stuff. And, we'll make a preemptive strike. Jeff and I will be attending the Yankees-Guardians golf tournament taking place this week down in Tallahassee. I love them. Let's go to one of the sharpest minds in sports betting today, my good friend Eric Pauly. Closing thoughts or comments?
Yeah, closing thoughts. So following up on what Trey was just talking about with teasers. So I bet teasers heavily in the NFL for a number of reasons. One, because historically I have an edge. And two, I have a sports book that gives me great odds on those teasers. So you certainly have to shop around. But this season, whether it be my handicapping or just my reading the market incorrectly or just maybe new way they're framing the market, I've kind of been off on teasers this season. So I'm not sure if it's time to – of course it's time to, adjust and go back and see where I'm kind of falling short and kind of messing that up and working on my process. But again, I don't know if it's my process that's really wrong or if I'm just reading things incorrectly. So I just think a key takeaway, like Adam's saying, is when it comes to handicapping, find what you are doing great at and try to improve upon that, and things that maybe have worked for you in the past, maybe you had success with, but isn't working now. You have to be able to reflect as to why, look at your process and move on and decide whether or not you want to keep going on that path or kind of mix it up and continue with working with what's working for you now, because in this business, edges and things change immediately. So things that work in the past don't necessarily work for the future. Things that are working for you now, you might need to capitalize on now, because who knows when you're going to lose that edge.
Great stuff. Great betting insights. Basically, Eric's telling you sports betting is a living, breathing thing, and you've got to adapt and change with it. Great stuff, Eric. Thank you, Eric. While you have the floor, tell everybody what your free play is.
I'm riding the New England Patriots this weekend. I'm waiting for a 1, but as long as the 1.5's there, I'll still take it at that number.
Great stuff. I love Eric. Dionne, what do you got for everyone?
I'm going with Mavericks today.
Adam, pull the trigger. What do you got, baby?
I think the Texans can pull the mild upset on Sunday, but like I said, Texans plus 7.5, in my opinion, is the best teaser leg on the board for the NFL this weekend.
I love him. Let's go to Jeff Michaels. Jeff?
I got East Carolina plus the 3 points Friday night football for you.
I love him. I love him. I love him. And Joey D said the Wizards tonight, minus the 5. I'm doing pretty good in that NBA. You can't beat number 1, guys. Dionne?
Yeah.
Let's go on out of here. Let's get
right.
out of here. Let's take this crew out of here.
You got it. So make sure you go ahead and follow all of the amazing cappers that are on the First Family Show. You can find Adam Trigger over at Top Flight SI. You can find Jeff Michaels over at JM Sports CLE. Eric Pauly over at Slime Action. You can also find Joseph over at Joe D'Amico Wins, and you can find myself over at the First Lady of Vegas. And don't forget to tune in the rest of the week for some more free winners and a ton of laughs, along with some special guests. And on behalf of Sports Memo, WagerTalk, Adam, Jeff, Eric, and us, this is the First Family of Vegas.
Everyone out there, good luck and have a winning day.